I wanted to make this video as a sign for you to stop playing it small and to stop being humble. And humble in the sense of not humility, but being a goody two shoe. Like, I can see through you in terms of you play it nice just to be agreeable, just to be liked by others. You kind of do this fake laugh to disarm people, to leave a sense that, oh, you thought something was funny when something really wasn't funny. Or like, um, you try to purposely make yourself feel small, and you make self-deprecating jokes to kind of take the attention away from you or make yourself seem smaller, less threatening, so you're not perceived as someone who's confrontational or competition. And if you're someone like me, Asian American, this is the case, right? Growing up, especially if you're Vietnamese like me. And I know because I lived that. And I was tired of playing it small. I was tired of making all these fake ass jokes or remarks, pretending like I cared when I really didn't, freeing up my time for people who didn't respect my time, things like that, right? You guys ever read the book No Longer Human? And I haven't read the whole entire book. I'm still in the middle of reading it, but it's kind of confirmed on what I've experienced in my entire life, where I don't feel like I'm myself. I feel like I'm just this shell of myself, just trying to entertain other people and trying to be liked by everybody. And I play this passivity, this neutrality, this nihilism, this apathy, and I don't stand for anything. I'm not that's exactly why you feel lost. You're a shell of yourself. You don't know who you are because you don't take a stance. You don't show your genuine self. You don't feel like you can show your genuine, authentic self because you're afraid that will drive some people away. I'm here to let you know and tell you that it is okay. You know, I used to be this kid who grew up like, one, being a hopeless romantic. I wanted friends. I grew up not having many friends, and I thought it was meant to be. I was destined. When you're kind of somewhat emotionally intelligent, you went to school, you did well in school, but you were kind of socially awkward, or you felt like you couldn't connect well with others. You start feeling sorry for yourself, and you escape through something. My escape was League of Legends, and I played 10 hours a day. And that was my form of escapism. Other people have different types of escapism: food, binging, porn, anime, things like that. My form of escapism was kind of a combination. It was League, it was these 3 a.m. going on websites when I got lonely where I shouldn't be, I shouldn't be on that website. Sorry, I'm kind of gathering my thoughts. This is an unstructured video, but eventually it got to a point where it deteriorated my skills in real life. I didn't have good social skills. I couldn't articulate myself well. I was afraid to share my thoughts. I wanted to sound agreeable. I held no boundaries. I made my time available as much as I could because I didn't know how to respect my time. And I didn't know my value, my own self-worth, because I always placed my opinion through other people. Like, other people thought for me. I didn't think for myself. And if this is all kind of eerily similar to what you experience, I encourage you to stop thinking in that terms, because it's not gonna lead to a life of fulfillment. It's only gonna lead to a life of what if and regrets. And what changed was the internal decision of where my life was going to be headed. I had a little brother, and I asked the right questions at the right time, which was, who is it, the person that I'm becoming? Am I becoming someone the younger me would be proud of? Am I becoming the someone the younger me would have needed? And deep down, I knew the answer, which was no. I was wasting my life away on League of Legends because it is a waste of time at the end of the day. Yes, video games are a hobby, but I treated it as if it was my life and my self-worth. I started, like, the accomplishments that I achieved in League of Legends. I had a high elo, I had good mechanics, and I would say, like, wow, I have a better KDA than you. I would shit talk people in League and say, like, oh my gosh. And that would be my high, right? Because that was my true accomplishment in a video game. How sad is that, right? If your true accomplishment is in knowing what foods, knowing the food spots, or how many animes you've watched, things like that, kind of like elitist mindset, like your gatekeeping stuff, like very niche stuff that doesn't hold any utility in real life, you're a loser. You're a fucking loser, okay? Like, I'm saying that because I was a fucking loser, all right? So, like, think about it. Like, what good does it do if it doesn't benefit your life in any way in terms of, you know, your physique, your career, and just kind of like the real life stuff? It shouldn't be that way, but think about it, right? So I guess I'm trying to say that what prompted a change in my life was when I started to get more curious and explore and get uncomfortable and start working towards the version I know I could become, developing the skills and traits of that person. Who would the improved Eric look like? And it definitely wasn't the traits that I was doing beforehand. I was playing video games in my mom's basement. I didn't have a job back then. I would, like, those 3 a.m. nights, I would goon. Like, it was bad, right? And it affected me. It affected my physical and mental health and spiritual health because I wasn't living in line with who I knew I could become. And that was the first decision. And then eventually, you know, I started exploring more things such as basketball. I had friends that I'm grateful to have some friends along in my life that helped push me out of that dark hole. And what eventually was the catalyst was fitness. Fitness was something that leveled up my life forever, for the better. Because once I got my physique in order, it wasn't that it was the most important thing in that moment, but it enabled so much more in my life. Fitness and sports taught me how to stay disciplined and consistent and practice delayed gratification. And those are important skill traits or skills that you have to develop in life in general. Delayed gratification, doing things in uncertainty, learning to continue to stick with your inputs regardless of the results. Because if you look at it from a day-to-day perspective, life won't change much. But if you keep doing it and you keep doing it and you find small improvements, you find small wins here and there, after months, years, everything will change because you held the conviction, you held the goal in mind. You knew your why. You knew that you could become a better person than who you were. And then now, once you see that, it's proof of concept. You start to realize that you're moving differently from most people. Most people choose to play it safe at the end of the day. Kind of what I mentioned at the start of the video. And it didn't align with who I was. I was sick of people pleasing. I was sick of being a goody two-shoe. I didn't find things funny, but I just laughed just to keep a common ground between one person and another. I don't do that shit anymore. Like I'm not stiff. I'll still laugh, but with the right people, right? If it's with like-minded people, like I don't resonate a lot more with the hedonistic stuff. I don't like to party. I don't like to smoke. I don't like to drink. I don't like to gossip. It's like those stuff, right? You kind of shit talk here and there, but it's like the vibes, the energies of different people. You just hang out with them and it's just like, I don't really feel bad if I don't relate with another person. That used to be my self-worth. Like I thought there was something wrong with me, but that's just who I am. And at the end of the day, when you know what you want and you're determined to help people or just inspire, be a leader, things like that. When you have aspirations as a male, when you have testosterone, the best thing you could do for yourself is discipline yourself to chase the goals and find meaning in your life, positive meaning. and spread joy and things like that. Anyways, I'm getting on a tangent, but the point of this video should be a reminder to you guys, especially if you look like me, is that you can change. I have, obviously this video, there's a lot of lack of context, I feel like, because it's not as structured as I like it to be. Go watch my other videos. Go scroll down and then see whatever title. You can kind of see my thoughts in real time and how they change over time up to this point. But watch the ones that you find would pique your interest, and you'll see my story. You'll kind of find some gems and my thoughts here and there. Hopefully you resonate, but yeah, that's what I do. So, I mean, if you're looking to level up your physique and ultimately change your life, and it's just not only changing your physique, it's changing who you are, really, and kind of find meaning in your life. So if you need some help with that, hit me up on Instagram. I'll leave it down below in the description. Subscribe if this is kind of what you resonate with. If if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out.